everyone, my name is SiC and welcome back to episode 2 of Humankind. So today we are going to turn our outpost over here into our first full-fledged city. And yeah, it's time to found your first city. Cities don't appear out of thin air, they grow from an existing outpost. Alright, so we need to click on that, open it up. And then we have we could do a district project, which is the Outpost Relocation, which would take 6 turns to complete. And of course that would just put this into another part of our outpost, or another outpost of our province. The alternative being city creation. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to click that, and apparently this would be done immediately. I'm guessing because it is our first city. Other cities would take longer to complete. Alright, let's click on that. We have Babylon. What is this? Scientist Affinity. Your special affinity action is available. As a scientist culture, you can order any of your cities to have a special focus on science production. If you use this button, this city will stop producing industry and money, instead converting 50% of the production into science. Ooh, interesting. This focus on science production lasts at least 5 turns, and after that you'll be able to return the city to normal by using this button again. So every culture that you pick will have a different affinity. And well, we have a scientist one because that is the direction that Babylonians move into the most. Alright, so we could click this button and then we would no longer have any industry or money. So 8 and 2, we would not have that. Instead of that, it would be halved. And that would turn into science. So we would get 5 science on top of the 2 we are already getting. Now, I don't want to do that now, I want to grow. Right, and it says that food is plentiful. The amount of food produced, it is used to sustain population in this city. Higher food states bring a stability bonus and allows the city to grow beyond its standard capacity. Lower food states bring a stability malus and a population will die or leave the city. Right now we are at plentiful, we are at 17 output, and that comes from all of these tiles which we are working around our city. The current food production is sufficient to sustain the population. The city's population will grow minimally beyond the population limit and a half and has a higher minimal growth speed. The city gains a stability bonus from the surplus food. The city will remain as long as your city food production stays between 10 and 50. 10 and 50. So we are still at the low end. Like we are growing, I guess, and we will have multiple people eventually. Right now we have 1 population. This can grow and then we can drag this to another place. We could drop that to industry and suddenly from 8 industry we would go up to 13 or up to 7 or up to 5. So this guy is worth 5. So for the food we are at 4, but we're just going to each population allocated to that workplace produces that amount. Interesting, so we get 4. Seems to be a bit more though, because 8 up to 13, this should be 12 then, if it was this as 4. So we're getting 5 rather than the 4. Interesting, anyway. We have some options available to us. We have some districts we could build a scout unit, we could also do public ceremonies, a feast, and that will give us extra food. However, this takes 12 turns. Now there is a thing here, just like in Civilization 6, where you build your city outwards. It doesn't just contain this one tile. So the districts, they have these hexagonal shapes, and that means you build them out on the map. The units, well, are units of course, and then you have the infrastructure or public ceremonies, and they have these squares, and those would be built within the city somewhere. Or within existing districts, I guess. But anyway, at this point, of course, it is always a good idea to grow your industry or your food when you're early in the game. I don't know how fast we are growing people right now, but I'm assuming it would be a good idea to get a farmer's quarter and increase our growth. Now, we can place this anywhere around our city, and it will take the food from the surrounding area. If we would place this here, we would get +5 food, +2 over here, because it's only getting it from over here, I guess, and not from here, because this is a forest, or counts as a forest. This one doesn't count because it's not part of our province. We will get +3 here. However, you can also see this one is lighting up. And that is because this would give us the highest bonus. It gives us +9 food. However, it also causes -1 production, because there's that 1 production on this tile. And we would lose that instead. But I think that's fine. So let's just place that down over here. And right now it should start working on the farmer's quarter. Yeah, now we could do a buyout with money. However, right now we have $0. However, we are getting +2 gold per turn. So, yeah, a lot of turns to go. Around 51 turns or something, 55 turns, and we will be able to buy out the farmer's quarter. Or we're just going to wait for the 8. And that's what we're going to do. All right, other things to do is we can now start research. And we can click on that, and we have a technology screen, just like in Civilization, where we can go through all of the things that we could research. Now this goes up to era 4, because that is the limit of this open dev build. But of course the final game will have much more. Now we could do calendar, domestication, carpentry, or city defense, and the other ones are locked behind this one, I guess. So if we click on that, yeah, these are our 4 options. So let's have a look. We have calendar, and this would give us access to the artisan's quarter, +1 money per adjacent market quarter, specialist craftsman, harvest nature's most precious materials, selling the best finds for a handsome price when a market is on hand nearby. Extracts any luxury resources from the deposit it is built on. Right, do we have any deposits? I guess, yeah. We have the saffron over here. Now, would we want an artisan's quarter on that? I would guess so. Alternatively, we have domestication for horses and animal barns with the increased food. I don't think we're going to work on that right now, because we are already getting more food from the farmer's quarter. And production would be more welcome. We also could get a granary by researching calendar, by the way. However, this cannot be done until the following era, early modern era. So, not an immediate benefit to us. We could do carpentry, we could clear forests with that. So that would give us a boon to industry, I suppose. The natural world might be poorer for it, but the bounties of the forests are an immediate boon for industry or siege warfare. With that, we could get a lumberyard and archers. That seems pretty good. And the lumberyard is an upgrade, not a district, but an upgrade. Once felled from nearby trees, or nearby forests, logs of all sizes are chopped and stored at the yard before becoming fuel or frame in myriad settings. Now, the effects of that will be +2 industry on forest and +2 industry on woodland. Now, we have plenty of woodland here that we could exploit. So, carpentry, archers also seem nice to have. City defense, the walls again is another thing that we cannot do without fortifications, which we cannot research quite yet. So that will come later. We could also do warriors, but for now I think carpentry. And this is interesting. Right now it says 9 turns left, so we got this first turn for free, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. We also have society. So this is another screen, the empire stability. Empire stability is the average stability of all your cities. A low value of empire stability will eventually lead to a revolution. A high value of empire stability will increase the rate at which you generate civic points, which allows you to vote on undiscovered civics. Now, the civics are interesting also, but we cannot show you that right now because we don't have any civic points. However, this region is 100% loyal to me, so that is nice. And finally, we still have our hunting party over here, which can move and still build additional outposts. Now we have horses over here, and that seems quite nice to have. We have copper up there. You need to research the technology bronze working available during ancient era. Gatekeeper to the Bronze Age. Copper finds uses in weaponry, coinage, medicine, and decoration. Now that seems very good. And this area seems very good for mining operations. So I think we're going to send our army up here. And we're going to lay claim to that territory as well. If nobody beats us to it, of course. And that is about all we can do. So let's end the turn. New notifications. We've got some deer. Let's see. Culture chosen. Empire unknown. Reached the ancient with the Mycenaeans. Okay, and we have population gain in Babylon. So now we have 2 people. And with that, one person is working on food. One person has started working on industry, and that has cut the production cost of the quarter, of the farmer's quarter, to 4 turns. That is very nice. We're going to keep that. Now we could attack this guy, but I don't see a reason to. They won't attack me, and I just really want to make a beeline for the copper. I think it's very important to keep that resource close to us. And resources so far seem pretty scarce. There would be 1 resource in every territory, I guess. So you would have horses over here. We have saffron here. There happens to be another saffron deposit right next to us. Might be a nice idea to get a colony on this province as well, because then we might be able to get a monopoly on saffron. That might be beneficial, but first I would say diversify a bit and get some copper in the copper mine. So another empire has chosen the Egyptians. All right. Now there is one thing I noticed, by the way, and is I've been playing this a little bit in a different campaign. The map stays the same pretty much every time, so this time around I went exploring to the right hand side. There's an ocean over there, which is cool, but when I started moving down the river, it's just getting onto the river that costs you a lot of movement points, and then you can follow the river for pretty much 1 point, if I remember correctly. So that's kind of cool. Should really help us out with getting up here. Potentially. Right, 2 more turns on the farmer's quarter. Now, these animals are in the way. We could attack the mammoth, or we could just go through the path of least resistance and go for the deer. So we will confirm that battle, and I think we're just going to automate that one. Let them go quickly. There we go. Victory. We lost 3%. We gained 10 coins. Oh, that's good. That's interesting. That is very nice to know. Ah, and that took up all of our movements. But we could attack this guy then as well. We were just going to go for it. We have people in the city as well. Fortified city. This is interesting. You will move over there on the high ground. I guess you could move up here to the high ground as well, and you're just going to kind of block this. We'll end the deployment there. Alright, we're not going to attack up because that would make him stronger. We're just going to stay here and the turn, let him come down. He's still going to be quite strong, I assume. But actually, yeah, we're equal ground. I guess we're also the defensive might also help. I'm not entirely sure about that, but +1 from defending, +1 from friendly units, -3 from crossing river. Interesting. Ah, this guy actually, yeah. We don't want to do that one. We'll do him, and we'll do them as well. And that should take care of the mammoth. And with that we got 40 gold. That is very nice. Alright, so I'm not unhappy about that. That is beneficial, and it only costs us very little health. Now research is going. We still cannot do anything about society, I guess, because we still don't have a civic point. So we're just going to end the turn and move on. So another empire with the Nubians. A matter of diplomacy. As a civilization of similar stature to your own empire, this newcomer is likely to be an ally or an adversary for many centuries or even millennia to come. They seek the same goal as yourself, to build a legacy that will never be forgotten. We found another empire. I guess they claim the territory right next to ours. I don't see them quite yet. The Mycenaeans. Alright, so war desire. Let's have a look. So you may have heard a lot about war desire, but let's make a quick recap anyway. War desire illustrates how strongly your empire supports open war with a given opponent. As a result, a different war desire meter exists for each of your opponents. War desire is a diplomatic resource. If you are not at war, war desire does not directly impact your empire, but you should try to keep it as high as you can, because when at war, having low war desire can lead to surrender and submission to enemy demands. Interesting. To increase your war desire, make demands, answer demands, and provoke other empires into making grievances against you. Or play it safe and keep a low profile. Alright. Empire Free AI does not know you just yet, so we could introduce ourselves. And this is our history, apparently. We are partially known. Now this guy is called Vlad, and let's have a look. He has 3 archetypes. He is cruel. Population is a disposable resource. Their productivity is what matters the most. He is militarist. They favor the use of military power to reach their goals, and he is impulsive. No matter the cost, deeds follow words. His strengths are food, plus 10% food on all cities, and striver, plus 15% industry on all cities. His bias is a rusher. They attack others on sight. Oh, we need to keep an eye on him. Let's introduce ourselves.
For your consideration.
And he sends us a treaty. Trade luxury. So this is also an interesting screen. We have several things that we can do treaties about. We have a trade screen, the general relations, a crisis screen. Lists all grievances occurring between your 2 empires. You can make demands here. Now we could say forbid new trade, I guess, or actually we can't. This is his proposal. We could counter it. Offer to accept the other's empire proposition in exchange for 100 gold. We could straight up refuse, or we could accept. Now let's keep him on the friendly side for now and accept.
Most glorious, yes.
Let us have wine and song.
Alright. Cultural proximity, kinship. Your empires have few ideological differences, making cooperation smooth and easy. The other side gains more war desire if you break treaties with them, and declaring wars applies a severe war desire drain. Interesting. Attitude is hesitant, unsure of your intentions, so reserving judgment for the time being. Relation is stable. Current superiority, we are even. Alright, so we have some things that go up, some things that go down. So the cultural proximity is high. His archetype is cruel, so that goes down. Then we've signed treaties, that goes up. We lack information sharing treaties, and we lack border policy treaties. Alright, let's click that away. Now I haven't, here he is. In Mycenae. So he's to our southwest. Alright, meanwhile, we are on a new turn. Let's us go up. And that took up all of our movement already. Right, now let's have a look. On the next turn, where would we plant a city or an outpost? So food is important, production is important as well. So food, we already kind of know this is a desert area. Food is not going to be amazing. This one is actually okay. It has 10 food, 11 production, plus 2 science. That is kind of nice. Up here though, we will get a ton of production. 6 food, 18 production, 2 science. But I think, yeah, we need to grow quickly as well. So I would say maybe establish ourselves here on the river on the next turn. Now we could keep that as an outpost, or we could build it up into a city. And there goes a hunting party. I guess that belongs to the not Mycenaeans? Yeah, Mycenaeans, actually. That is entirely correct. Alright, so we did what we needed to do. We can order our army to complete its movements for this turn, so they will move, and I guess, yeah, they automatically do build up that outpost. Now this is, of course, is going to take some turns. It's not done immediately, but it says 1 turn, and it should be finished. And of course we can see some of the terrain light up in green, and this border now also goes blue. Right, 1 more turn for the food quarter, which we built over here, and then after that we should see this green area extend over here as well, I think. Yes, indeed. Alright, population gain, outpost. Alright, yeah, outpost is established. Now we have horses over here. Horses is another unique resource that we don't have access to yet. That could be interesting to have. And we're pretty close by. So we also still have a lot of influence. So let's just go ahead and claim as much territory as we can here. And of course, preferably territories that are connected and close to each other. Now, Babylon needs a new project. We could continue building the farmers' quarters. We could go for a maker's quarter. And we'd have to build it next to other things. So here's the thing. Maybe actually here would be a very good place to build it. But we cannot build it there because it needs to be connected to a district or the city itself. So the only... well, the possibilities are of course all around us. This one would destroy 1 food. Give us +3 production. Now that is not amazing. I'm assuming we could get a lot more over here, especially with when the research is done and we get +2 production. So we might actually want to not do this one right now. Now we have another unique district, which is Astronomy House. Great astronomers and adept mathematicians, Babylonian priests work in temples to understand and predict planetary movements. They have a resource exploitation of food and science. So +2 food per researchers, +2 science per adjacent farmers quarter. Interesting. On city or outpost, -5 stability, +1 researcher slot. So the stability would go down by building that. But that is for all of the quarters, all of the districts, I mean. Because I assume, yeah, the city gets bigger, more people, crime might go up. You know, it's not going to be a small tight-knit tribe anymore. But it seems like a good thing to have, and actually it does recommend us building it here, and I was thinking about that anyway. Now it doesn't give us the benefit from being next to a farmer's quarter, but the bonus for that would not be amazing. And if we build it here, then after that we could build a maker's quarter here, and we will get more benefits from the terrain around us. So let's go ahead and build that one. So it's going to take us 8 turns. We still don't have the money to build it up in 1 turn. Now as for the outposts, we can build some things here as well. We actually cannot. I guess we need some research done before we can. We could do an outpost relocation. We could build this up into a complete city. And here's the thing about that. I don't know where to find that information out of the top of my head. However, let's have a look. All cities and outposts. We have unclaimed wonders. You need influence to claim a wonder. So we would need to build this up to 250. We could claim a wonder. Now we could build it. Yeah, so here's the thing. We have outposts and we have cities. Now every city needs to have an administrator. And without an administrator we cannot build a city. So having an area like this might not be the smartest place to put a city, because yeah, we don't have a lot of food. However, the production is very strong. So there is that. It's definitely something to consider here. But do we want... yeah, and there's other ways to get administrators as well. But we need to be a bit careful. Alright, so this is the number of administrators your empire has. You can unlock more administrators via technologies or civics. Right. So that means, I guess, we have one administrator in this city. That's the only one we have. Now we could build one more city. So for now, maybe we just want to keep an outpost. We could use it for the copper resource. We have another empire, the Olmecs. Acknowledge. Alright, so now we could build a lumberyard, we could get archers. That is good. Now, some more options have opened up to us. And I guess we need the artisan's quarter to be able to get access to the copper. On a luxury resource deposit. Now, I don't know if this is a luxury resource deposit, but let's just research it, and then we will actually, what else did I see there? We have masonry, pottery shop, stoneworks, watchtower. No, I think we're fine with, what are we researching right now? Calendar, yeah. I think that's going to be fine. Alright, so, let us continue. So as you can see, now we're following the river and it's easier to move around. And here we have access to the ocean. Now we could move one more tile. In this region we have the horses. We might want to put down another outpost. I don't know how much it 40. That was my question. How much does it actually cost? So we could get 13 food, 5 production, 3 science, 13 food and 6 production, 7, 4, 10 and 8. The production is nice. But we could always build up into that area as well. So actually this might be a very nice place. Or maybe this one. Maybe the one production doesn't help us out that much. And this would be better. Because that's a lot of food. And we get some science as well, which would help us out. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We have to wait one more turn. And we'll claim this territory as well. Now that's going to take 40 influence. And that means our wonders are going to be delayed. I would like to build a wonder because that is pretty cool. So we're going to make them move and they will put down that outpost. This is kind of cool. You can do a very rapid expansion. You don't have to build settlers in your cities. You can just focus on your cities and building them up, unlike Civilization 6 or other Civilization games where you have to build a settler, then you send that settler out into the world. I guess just your armies, every army you have could go somewhere and build an outpost. So that's very cool. I also kind of like that this looks different in terms of color compared to this. This is much more vibrant because it's on grassland. And this is in the desert, so it's a bit more arid. But still a little bit green because they're working the land, you know. There's still some benefits there, I guess. Alright, so now we would have 3 territories. And this one we would probably build up into a city before this area. Probably. Now let's see, we still cannot build another district on the copper, so I guess we need that research first. So let's end this turn. We gained a population outpost. So this outpost is now up and running. A civic point gain. Your civilization just gained a civics point. Awesome. Alright, so that is something that we need to do. Let's open the society screen. And oh, look at that. This territory is dominated by you with a 71% cultural influence over it. Select with left mouse or right mouse button to display the details of the various influences. This territory, actually left mouse button, I guess. Yeah, so we would get some influence from our neighbors here. Alright, interesting. So, most influential Empire 1 or 0, that's me. Your opponents needs to have 20% more influence than you to contest the territory. Right, so if they would have 20 above me, they can contest it. Interesting. Oh, Wrong button. Now let's show the civics. Now there are two things here that are unlocked. I'm not sure what unlocks them. Civics are revealed through special events triggered by actions occurring in your empire. Alright, so we have the founding myths and legitimacy as options. Now we could have a look at both of them, I guess. Or, yeah, we can go back and forth between these two. Alright, so customary laws. What style of laws does the empire use? Customary laws or codified laws? Historical precedent and tradition serve as the basis for our judgment. Apply status celebrating on new cities. And this would move us from the neutral in this direction. And this would give us +3 influence on territory, +5%. That's pretty nice. Laws will be debated, classified, and codified for perpetuity. So this would keep us in the neutral, I guess. +10% science on city or outpost, +2 influence on territory. That's nice. And modify attack cost by -20%. Modify absorb cities by -20%. Now, this is another thing. You have these in the map, but they don't have to stay as those provinces. You can actually combine them into one big one. That's going to come with a cost, but also a benefit, I assume. But I want to go for science. Science forte. Let's go for this one, I guess. I don't know what is good yet in this game, of course, because it's so very new. That seems to have reduced our cultural influence a bit. And in another turn, we'll have another 6. Alright, interesting. This, we need more turn for the outpost to be created, apparently. You guys could continue scouting around. It seems we have... Oh, this is the border of our territory, I assume. I'm curious what is in this region. Maybe we'll claim to this one as well, because next stars, but it seems to be blocked in by a lot of mountains. Is this a region even? I assume, but perhaps not. Or it falls under this region, actually. Yeah, we already own this region up here. Move on our turn. We could move in here or move down here. We're going to move down coast. Let's have a look. Alright, and we have an event that's over here. Now this is very small, and the notification for that is not super clear, and it's easy to miss. That's something that I would probably change in this game, but let's have a look. Alright, so new fix unlocked. Founding myths or legitimacy. That's what we've already done. Or actually, this is not what we already have done. This is another thing that has been unlocked by through something we did, I suppose. Wrong button. I keep wanting to escape to get off that screen, but it doesn't work. So, yeah, let's turn here. I'm just going to quickly take off my vest because it's super warm in here. It's weird noises, that's what that is. There we go. Knowledge is power. Calendar is researched. And that hopefully you have access to the copper. Oh, because we need to have bombs working well during the... It will be available during the era. So we cannot actually do that right now. Let's go to the technology screen and see what our options are. We have plenty of stuff. We have irrigation. With a basic understanding of how the seasonal flooding of a river can be better controlled was no longer a matter only for gods. We will add irrigation +2 food on the river, and we are the rivers, that is nice. Public +15 stability. Channeled from underground springs, fountains, drinking and bathing water useful for keeping sweaty farmer content. Nice. We would get access to horses soon. So for that we need domestication, I guess. And then we will go to horsemanship. So actually yeah, we have access to that. Where bronze working is down here. So city defense, and then we could go to bronze working. Interesting. So that will give us access to the Sakasi, which I guess are our, yeah, that is our unique unit. So that would also be important to work towards, I guess. Because for masonry, but defense domestication. Well, let's go for the unique units because this other guy now was pretty aggressive. So city defense might be a smart bet here. And then we'll work our unique units by also unlocking access to the copper, or at least our ability to work it. And go. We could build up into a city, but take 19 turns. And that's because our production is very low. 5 industry. And here's the growth actually. So +1 in 18 turns. Well, let's just go for it. What about this one? +1 in 9 turns. And Babylon. +1 in 3 turns. It's down here instead of there now. That's a bit strange. But yeah, it's a different screen from the thing up here. The outpost. So let's see, Extractor Construction. Did you notice this special district? This is an extractor which can... Artisan's Quarter. Can be placed on a resource deposit in your empire. There are different types of extractors, one dedicated to luxury resources and others to strategic resources. Luxury resources provide economic bonuses and strategic resources permit the construction of special units and buildings. Alright, so if you click on that, that is, yeah, we would build that up over here. Unlike regular districts, luxury extractors can be placed only on their matching resource deposit. Luxury extractors can be placed on all luxury deposits visible in their city's territory. So we could put that there and it would give us +1 production, +5 gold. The gold is nice. That is very nice. Let's have another look. Administrator. An administrator is assigned to your city. Without them, your city will be less productive. Okay. The administrator count is displayed in your resource banner. Note that the number of available administrators can be increased through technologies and civics. Alright, so this will be done in 4 turns. Now after that I probably want to build a maker's quarter here. So we're not going to queue up the extraction here quite yet. I think we need to focus on our industry a bit more. Now in 3 turns we will have another population, so we could dedicate that to industry as well, but yeah, let's have a wait and see. Now the army can still move, so let's have them have a look around over here. Let's move in here. This I thought might be a dead end, but apparently it's not. Oh, we have a lake over here, a river. That's kind of nice looking, man. The graphics in this are really nice. I like how all of the tiles kind of transition into each other. It seems pretty natural, and it's certainly a beautiful looking game. Alright, so let's end the turn there. We have an idle army. So, I don't know. Ah, there's another horse in this territory. Good farming, access to hills, so that might be good for production. I don't know what... Oh, we have another army over here. I'm just kind of wanting to check out what they're doing. Now is the question, do we want to build this outpost up into a city as well? Because I don't know if there's a downside to it, really. It gives us a bunch of everything. Access to food, influence, fortification, industry, money, science. Except, yeah, we have the administrator cost, of course. But it just seems to be less productive. So it can always be improved later. So I don't really know what the reason for outposts are right now. Let's just build that up into a city as well. The cities are cool, they give us more options, and yeah. Now we could also save up to 124 gold and buy out the city creation. We might actually want to do that. We could do that maybe by killing some animals and get some money for it. City defense researched. Alright, nice. New grievance available. You may ask for reparation. Interesting. Let us check that out. They will move up here. A matter of diplomacy. A civilization of similar stature to your own empire. Okay, so we found another...
You should listen to this.
The Assyrians.
This is where I greet you. Impress upon you the wonder of my people. And tell you my ambitions. No? Maybe?
Alright, so what is this? His fame. He has a lot of fame, actually. So you can get a certain amount of fame every era. Let's see. Cruel. We've seen that before. Risk-taking. They tend to engage all the resources, even if it might create holes in their defenses. He's extrovert, eager to develop relationships with other civilizations. He is a militarist, gets +1 combat strength on units with that. Pillager, so +100% money gained per ransack. And bias is to the end. They never surrender. The only acceptable outcome for a war is victory. Wow. Let's accept this as well. We can trade.
This is good.
And the relationships here. Let's have a look. Peace. Their relations, peace, peace. Ah, okay, like that. Now we could do a surprise war. We're not prepared for that. Propose an alliance. I don't think we want to do that either. War desire is even. Let's just click that away for now. And let's see, these guys have moved the maximum that they can do. We need to do another research thing. So let's go for bronze working. It's 4 turns, that should be absolutely fine. These guys are turning this into a city. We still need 2 more turns for this district to finish. So this is something you really need to plan out, isn't it? Because everything takes a lot of turns before it's done. Ah, the units are interesting as well. They all cost the population. So to build a big strong army you really need a lot of food. Alright, we got another population in Babylon. That is good to know. A world deed locked. A world deed has been locked by another empire. Interesting. Alright, so these guys are kind of running away. How can we get here quickly? Running around the mountain, unfortunately. I would have liked to go there sooner. Where are they? These guys are over here. These guys are over there. So we have, let's have a look. The crisis tab. Grievances. Claimed a territory on our border. The crisis tab gives you an overview of all the grievances and demands currently available. You can see on the left side your available grievances and on the right side the grievances available for your opponents. In the middle you see the grievances turned into demands. When the demand is made from one side to another, a crisis is automatically declared between both empires. Note that ongoing demands without answer will increase their owner's war desire. Don't forget to answer your demands as soon as you can, even if simply to refuse. Interesting. So we could say that, and which one would that be? Ah, they're making an outpost over here. We could be angry about that. That is interesting. Do we want to do that, however? What is that? Claim the territory that's adjacent to one of my attached... Ah, so we can click on that for the thing. Demand, give outpost. A demand can be made within 9 turns. Ooh. Okay, demand preparation for this injury. A trade embargo will be imposed and borders will be closed until your demands are accepted or withdrawn. Or we can renounce to create a demand from this grievance. Now, I don't want to go to war yet. We don't have a strong military. We will renounce.
A sense of perspective is needed.
No, this cannot be countenanced.
Ongoing, -1. From war desire above base value during peace. Interesting. Alright. Yeah. So what other territories might we want to claim? So I don't see any good resources over here. I don't know what other things are important for us. Let us just end the turn here. Another world deed is locked. Now where can we see the world deeds, I wonder? I am not sure. Anyway, one more turn for the Astronomy House to be finished. Interesting. One more production. Look at that. We are at 103 out of 104. We could buy that out for 10. I think, yeah, let's go ahead and buy that out for 10, because that doesn't seem like a lot of money. Get some extra science for that, and that boosts up our speed on that. Now, this takes longer. Now, that's interesting. We could increase... we could build a lumber yard. That is interesting. So what is going on here? Palisades cannot be done without the following technology: fortifications. I don't know why that's saying that there, because we can certainly build it. We can click on it and things are happening, so I don't know. So we get some extra money now, because we have another civil population, I guess, moved over here. I think we want to grow faster though. Let's 8 turns, and if we put them over here, 8 turns. Oh wow, that is oh, come on man, why is it 2? Alright, there we go. Production could also be nice. I think we're going to go all in on production here. Makes this go a bit faster. Now, the Maker's Quarter. +4. Only +2 here. That's a lot less than I expected, actually. +4. So actually that's not that great. So if we have the Artisan's Quarter, it's +1, but we will get some money. I guess we're just going to build that now, because I also want to see what we can get for saffron. I don't know what it does beyond that money. I'm assuming it does something else as well. Alright, so we are running off to the sanctuary. I want to ransack this place. Get some money for that. +22. Nice. Could we ransack it again? Or well, it's going to take a turn. So let's end the turn here. Bronze working has been researched. And now we could research something else. So domestication for the horses, fishing, irrigation, masonry, writing, wheel, organized warfare, or standing army. Let's do domestication. It's only taking 2 turns and we have the horses up there. Hunting party. Alright, so we got 22 gold for that. We can attack this mammoth. We will get some money for that as well. Let's turn this into automatic. They go around to attack from the high grounds automatically. And with that we got 40 gold. That is nice. That should give us enough to buy out the production of this city. Look at that, 13 more turns. No, we are going to buy out and create this city here immediately. Alright, so here then food is pretty good. Industry is only 6. How much food are we making? Minus food from population consumption. Let's go for infrastructures. We could do that immediately as well. That is interesting. Granary. +1 farmer slot. Lumberyard, because we have a lot of this stuff around us. Let's go for lumberyard, actually. Sipar, the town of Sipar. The city is administered, removing all penalties for not being administered and enabling it to build units. So that actually did use up our our 1 administrator, which means that this place will not become administered. But that's fine, I guess. We'll see what's going to be going on there. So these guys are exhausted. They cannot do anything else. More horses over there. Right, and by this time, I think we've also been playing for quite some time already. So it's about time we put in a cut here. But look at that, man. The city is growing. I kind of like that. This is like kind of turning into farmland, and you can see at least very clearly what is being worked and what is not being worked. Right? It's not like civilization where you have an individual population working a specific tile and only that tile, and it does show in Civilization 6 as well. There's like different animations for what is being worked and what is not being worked. But here you can immediately see like everything that is a bright green with these farmlands around it is being worked by our city. So that's kind of cool. And I think this, once it's finished, will also give us vision. Oh yeah, +1 vision range. So we can see what's going on around it in a circle. Now, research. Last thing we will do. Flood irrigation, +2 food on river. Now, we are not on a river here. However, we are on a river there, and we are on a river here. This place can use the food. Let's do irrigation. We have an idle army. We will send that somewhere else. What do we want to claim? Like, I feel it's important to claim as many good territories as possible, and we might want to block out these guys from taking more territories all around us. So how much? Yeah, we could move up here, I guess. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll claim this territory just to stop them from expanding over here. I don't know why this is still there. Might be a bug. I'm not sure. Anyway, We've been playing for some time already, so please leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I will see you guys for whatever video I do next.